Hi guys, so today I'm going to be demonstrating two recipes for you that you're going to be doing in class. The first recipe is the Energy Bite recipe, and this is on page 13 in your cookbook. The other recipe that I'm going to be going over is the Strawberry Shortcake Parfait, and this is on page 12 of your cookbook. So I'm going to go over the Energy Bite recipe with you first, and then we'll talk about the parfaits. So the Energy Bite recipe calls for 1 cup of dry oatmeal, 2/3 cup toasted coconut flakes, 1/2 cup of peanut butter, 1/2 cup of ground flaxseed, 1/2 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips, 1/3 cup of honey or agave nectar. We're going to be using the honey. 1 tablespoon of chia seeds, which is optional. We will be using the chia seeds, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So I want you to make a note in your cookbook to measure all of the dry ingredients first. So the dry ingredients would consist of the oatmeal, the toasted coconut flakes, the half a cup of flaxseed, the chocolate chips, and the chia seeds. So we're going to save the vanilla extract, the honey, and the peanut butter and measure those last. Okay, so the first thing I want you to do is to measure the 1 cup of oatmeal. So oatmeal is a dry ingredient, so I'm going to be using a dry measuring cup. I'm going to scoop this up so that it's overflowing, and with my leveler, I'm going to level off the top, and I'm going to do it right in the Ziploc bag. I'm going to add this to my mixing bowl. Next, I'm going to be measuring the coconut. So it calls for 2/3 cup of coconut. So we're going to use the 1/3 cup dry measuring cup, and we're going to use it twice. So I'm going to heat this up so that it's overflowing, level this off in the bag, add this to my mixing bowl, and then I'm going to do this twice. And level it off. And then add this to my mixing bowl. Okay, next we're going to be measuring the flaxseed. And flaxseed is an ingredient that is very high in antioxidants and in fiber. This is ground flaxseed, so this is going to be a dry ingredient. We're going to heat this up with a dry measuring cup, level it off in the package with my leveler. Okay, next we're going to add the chocolate chips. We need 1/2 cup of chocolate chips, and if you remember from class, I've always said that you don't need to level off chocolate chips, the more the merrier. So we're going to heat this up so that it's overflowing, and then add this to our mixing bowl. Okay, next we're going to be adding the chia seeds, and chia seeds look like this. It kind of looks like bird seed a little bit. This is going to add a little bit of a crunch to your Energy Bites, but it's also going to add some extra antioxidants. So it's a healthy food that you'll read about in the news sometimes. It's like the new thing is to have chia seeds in some of your ingredients. Okay, next I'm going to take a wooden spoon and I'm going to mix this together very lightly. Okay, so this is just to mix up the ingredients a little bit before I add the ingredients that are kind of a sticky or a moist texture to them. Okay, so first I'm going to be measuring the peanut butter, and we need 1/2 cup of peanut butter. So I'm going to reuse this 1/2 cup dry measuring cup, and with the peanut butter, remember I told you always want to use a rubber scraper. So I'm going to be using a rubber scraper to get it out of the jar of peanut butter, and I'm going to pack this in the dry measuring cup. Okay, with the flat side of my rubber scraper, I'm going to push off the extra. Oops, I had a little hole there. Push off the extra and put it back in the peanut butter container. Then using the rubber scraper, I'm going to get it out of the peanut butter container or the dry measuring cup here by using that rubber scraper, and try to get as much peanut butter out of there as you can. Okay, next I'm going to be adding the 1/3 cup of honey. Okay, so honey is a liquid ingredient, so I'm going to use a liquid measuring cup, and I would suggest twisting off the top of your honey so that you can pour it rather than squeeze the bottle, and I'm gonna add this honey to the liquid measuring cup, and the liquid measuring cup is on a flat surface. And I'm gonna try and get it to that 1/3 measuring cup line. All right, I'm not getting quite enough out of there, so I'm going to open up a new container here. Okay, so I'll toss this in the garbage and I'll get a new one. Hold on a second. Open up a new one and pour the rest in here so I can get to the 1/3 line. Look at it at eye level, okay? So next, I'm going to use my rubber scraper again. It's okay that I have peanut butter on it. It's all gonna get mixed together anyway. But I'm going to use this rubber scraper to get all of this honey out of the liquid measuring cup. Okay, so don't just pour it out. Scrape it out with a rubber scraper. It's going to make it a lot faster to get it out of there. All right. The last ingredient that we need to add is the vanilla extract. So you need a teaspoon. So we're going to take the teaspoon, and I'm going to measure this over a dry measuring cup because this is what I have available to me right now. So I'm going to measure over the dry measuring cup just in case I pour too much. When I get to the top, I'll add it to the mixing bowl. Okay, and that's the last ingredient that we need to add. So we have the oatmeal, the coconut flakes, the peanut butter, the ground flaxseed, the chocolate chips, the honey, the chia seeds, and the vanilla extract. I've got everything in there. Next, I'm going to stir this all together. Okay, and this is going to take some patience. You're going to need to stir it gently, but we're trying to get the honey and the peanut butter to evenly distribute through the other ingredients. Okay, and as it starts to stick together, you can stop stirring, okay, once it's all stuck together. So these energy bites are a healthy recipe. It's very high in fiber, high in protein, high in antioxidants, and this is a recipe that I make a lot for my kids, and I just keep these in the refrigerator and then they can just snack on them when they get hungry. There are different types of energy bite recipes out there. This is just happens to be the one that my kids like. A lot of students tell me that they don't want to try this because of the coconut that's in it. A lot of students don't like the texture of the coconut. But I would suggest that you try it because a lot of students that do end up trying it tell me that they like it. So again, give it a try. If you don't like it, that's fine. But you're taking these home anyway. Okay, so it's not a big deal. Okay, so if you don't like it, you can just take it home and share it with your family at home. Okay, so once it's done, it's gonna look like this. Okay, it's all the ingredients are kind of stuck together. And now we need to roll these into balls. And this is basically up to you how big or how small you want them. The recipe tells you it makes 20 to 25 of them. Again, it depends on how big you roll them. So you're gonna take a piece of wax paper and set it on your counter, and this is what we're going to put your energy bites on as you're rolling them. Once you are finished, we'll transfer them to a Ziploc bag, but this is going to help your area stay a little bit cleaner, keep your Ziploc bag a little bit cleaner, so that you're not getting the peanut butter and the honey all over the outside of that Ziploc bag. So we're going to put them on the wax paper first. So you're just going to take a little bit of this mixture with your hands, and you're gonna, I kind of pat it together rather than roll it. So I'm just kind of pushing it together with my fingers to try to form a ball, and I'm getting them about this size. Okay, so when you're done, you're gonna put all of them on your wax paper, and then I will give you a Ziploc bag and we will transfer them to the Ziploc bag once everything is cleaned up and put away, okay? So I'm just gonna set this aside really quickly so that we can go over the parfait recipe. And I'm gonna wash my hands super quick before I go over that. Okay, so once you are done with your energy bites, you can move on to your parfait recipe. And for the parfait recipe, like I said, it's on page 12 of your cookbook, and it says that it's the strawberry shortcake parfait. So this is a recipe that you are going to be making and eating in class. So if you don't want a parfait, that's okay. You don't have to make one. If you're not a fan of yogurt or strawberries or whatever, you don't have to make one. If you do want one, I'm going to go over this recipe with you. So this recipe is for 6 10-ounce glasses. You're just going to make one, and we're going to put it in a plastic cup. Okay, so this recipe calls for Dannon all-natural vanilla low-fat yogurt, strawberries that are hulled and diced. Our strawberries come from Sam's Club, and they come frozen, but they will be thawed for you. They're already sliced. You don't need to do anything with your strawberries. And granola. Our granola does have almonds in it, so I have had students in the past that make this and leave the granola out. That's totally up to you. Okay, I personally like it because it gives a little bit of a crunch to your recipe. So the first thing we're going to do is layer these ingredients in order in the way that they're listed in your cookbook. So it calls for 1/3 cup of yogurt, 2 tablespoons of strawberries, and 2 tablespoons of granola. So we're going to start with the yogurt, and yogurt is a dry ingredient. It's an ingredient that you're going to measure with a dry measuring cup, and you're going to pack it. So we're going to take the 1/3 cup dry measuring cup, and I'm going to scoop up the yogurt and put it into the measuring cup until it gets to the top. Kind of level it off with a spoon, and then I'm going to add this to my plastic cup. And I'm going to try to get it right in the middle of the plastic cup so that you're not getting yogurt all over the side of your cup. Okay, next I'm going to add the strawberries. So I need 2 tablespoons of strawberries. I'm going to scoop this up. There's 1, there's 2 tablespoons, and then the 2 tablespoons of the granola. And like I said, if you want to leave the granola out, totally up to you. So here's my 2 tablespoons. Now we're going to repeat those layers one more time. So we're going to do the yogurt, 1/3 cup of yogurt. Okay. Again, I'm going to try to get it right in the middle of the cup so that it's not making a mess all over the outside. Then I'm going to do my 2 tablespoons of strawberries. Chasing them around the bowl here. And then the 2 tablespoons of granola. Oops. Okay, so when it's done, you can see the distinct layers, the yogurt, the fruit, the granola, yogurt, fruit, granola. And that's basically what a parfait is. It's a layered dessert, so that's why they serve them in clear glasses or clear containers. Okay, so this is the last recipe. So when you're finished with this, you're just going to set your energy bites aside, set your parfaits aside, do all of your cleanup, wash and dry your dishes, put everything back on a clean surface. Then we will bag up your energy bites. If you want to try a couple in class, you can, and you'll eat your parfaits in class. At the end of the day, you'll come back down, pick up your bags of energy bites from the refrigerator, and then you can take the rest home with you. Okay?